Hey Rhoda. Uh, hey man. Hey. I'm sorry, I literally just woke up, so the sound might be a little off. Oh, cool. Uh, do you need some ideas or like practice for the new burp? Like for example, when you are going from 1 to 70, you wouldn't need to worry about doing any damage at all, because doing damage as a barb from 1 to 70 requires some experience and knowledge and farming some gear at certain levels, which will eventually be either lucky or nah. So you can just worry about getting your support setup running as fast as possible, and just when you get the skill, like for example you get the stun at level 9, you get some buffs at level 14, something like that. If you just as soon as you level up get the support setup, it will work perfectly, because I know how to have a big deck at the first day with damage, but mostly I go pure damage, so I need some like buffs and stuns like. Yeah. Exactly. It's not really gonna be an issue from 1 to 70. I'm just saying that if you wanna release the pressure of how to go from 1 to 70 of you, you can just like focus on getting support gear and defensive skills while leveling up, and eventually after it. Like for example, usually everyone worry about the season journey and the set pieces and what's on, but I don't really do them at all because I don't really need them. It wastes my time, because in order to do them you need some cool stuff or hard stuff. Oh, cool. Just worry that Wudujo has some videos about Demon Hunter, explains some buggy mechanic with Demon Hunter. Like he recently did some kind of explanation about like how the skill sometimes works, sometimes not. Good Monk was the same last season. Oh, yeah. It got so confusing for me on Shellongs. I know how to play with Shellongs, but I didn't try it with Tempest, and I played Tempest without Shellongs, and I kind of was like, got confused because Tempest with Shellongs sounds super buggy, but yet people use it and clear like high 140s and. Yeah, shielding damage is so much better. Like 300 more damage or something like that. About that, I needed a discussion about the XP meta runs. I told you about making a pure TPS for 150s, like probably a Witch Doctor or some like which is better that I'm gonna force myself to do. And in order to compete, I will have to grind XP. So I will either grind XP when nobody is online, or I will grind XP with the group if we have the correct setup. So probably the XP meta I'm gonna use is the Demon Hunter. Unless at the last second I change my mind and go with Barb. But either way, I'm gonna go for XP hunting, and I will force myself to play it, even if I have to play Necro. I had some experience with Necro that when I played it, I hated it so much, and I regret it. But if it's the last resort, I will do it for sure so I can farm XP grind. If you make a demon hunter and I have a demon hunter, we can farm the XP on them while nobody's on. And if my friends are on, we can go with your barb and my DPS and just bring the remaining two. Stuff like that. I plan to play a long, constant hour every day, more than I was playing last season. So we will have plenty of time to play together and be prepared for sure. I never, ever played with a Necro more than 5 hours or maybe 3 hours during the expansion. I hated it so much that made me quitted, deleted all the gear, the character, and just didn't play Diablo for so long. But I will force myself to play it if it's the last XP resort possible. Like I have a backup to my backup plan if the Necro is DBS for 150s. I may even stay with it and farm the XP as reds or something. That means I can save one more character, so making two instead of three. By the way, I'm gonna make a Crusader, if possible, to craft just the caustics, so I'll have endless supply of caustics. I even have a plan to farm caustics in tier 16 before we can even kill tier like 10 or something like that. So you can get a lot of legendary uniques because it drops shit ton of legend. People say this Nova is dead because it required some items from previous season. But the new Arise Necro is a harvest or like size. Like there is another setup. I think it's called size or grim harvest, something like that. I'm almost ready. I'm just like organizing the gear real quick. Just switching from TPS to runner, like more movement speed, so I can farm more currency. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat my general plan to you real quick. I'm planning to play my wizard to carry everyone, and including myself, with like the essentials I need for the first at least 3 days. I may push it further, like 7 days, but for sure I will change for the best trash cleaner. And eventually I will move on from trash clear to make a second character so I can farm XP while I'm not playing the trash clearer. So my main focus is the trash clear for 150s. I wanna make solid character staple for 150s. But when nobody's on to farm pushes, I'm gonna hop in on my XP character. So probably it's gonna be like a demon hunter. Hey. So yeah, the main plan is farm as many XP and rifts if no one is online. And when people are online, I'm gonna push the highest greater rifts as we can for gems and for unlocking it, stuff like that. Oh yeah. So I forgot to mention this small detail. You only need to worry about PARP for at least the first week during the time I'm playing with Wizard. But after you are done supporting me as a Wizard, the first few days, you can make a backup support for the pushes or for the XP meta or for whichever you like. That will downgrade the playstyle for me a little because I'm gonna be missing a barb. I'm gonna have to figure out how to have a sustain barb in the group. But it's totally fine. Like you only need to play barb for at least the first week. And after that, you can definitely make the required fun character you wanna play on. Just know that I'm gonna take the spot for 150s as a DPS, and I'm gonna take the spot for XP meta as probably the DPS. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I will go support for XP meta. Either it's Red or Demon Hunter. Or maybe I will go support. I'm not sure about the XP meta, but probably I'm gonna go DPS because I need to play the character even if I don't have the XP like for Rifts and stuff like that. Normally, by the way, I'm gonna push my Paragons more than I ever did. Normally, I get my perfect gear between 1k and 1k and half. But this season, I am planning to push my Paragon over 2k the first few days. Up to the end of the season, I plan to have at least 4k Paragons. Like my season goal for this season in XP grinding is 4k. I'm not gonna stop before that. Unless something happens, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna save my time a lot with everyone is on. Let's push and gym ups. Everyone is not on. Okay, I'm gonna farm either rifts or XP, rifts or XP, rifts or XP, rifts or XP. Like this is gonna be the plan. And I know from experience playing with you is you play a decent amount of time. So for sure we're gonna be able to farm a lot of XP together. Then I logged in the next day and I was dude, my goal was top 50s. Yeah, they had like a massive ban for season and non-season. That cleaned up the leaderboard by a lot. Okay, nothing. I think I got all my 400. Okay. If you are not paid money for rank, 1 second, I have to. Really, I really don't get. Oh, I know what you're talking about for sure. About like cheating and stuff like that. For me, I have experience with cheating. You know, when you were like young, like 10 or 15 years or something like that. And for me, it was like at the golden age of games, like the games were super old, like Red Alert 2 or something like that. So what happened is... one second. So what happened is I was like looking for some cheat codes and like how to get the special lieutenants, whatever stuff like that. So I did try cheat on like the really olden age PCs like Age of Empire, adding some future cards, stuff like that. And eventually I figured out if I cheat I lose interest so fast. Like I play the game because I like it, and cheating just ruins it for me by a huge gap. I like I stopped cheating afterwards for sure. Like maybe the only cheat I count as a cheat is if I need to pause the game because the computer like is faster than me or something like that. Just think and grab my eyes, just pausing the game. So I took an oath on myself that I'm not gonna cheat. I'm just gonna play and be better than like cheating. Just because cheating ruins the experience and the game for me. Not because it's good or bad or whatever. I don't really care about that. Yeah, I know what you're saying is totally right, and I may be wrong about that. I totally understand where are you going with this, but I just want to elaborate that I stopped cheating because of my morality. It ruins the gaming experience for me, and I stopped playing as fast as I'm done cheating the game. So I'm not gonna cheat anything at all. And usually I have like good experience with like timing and managing stuff that may make people believe that I am cheating in a way because sometimes I get super accurate. Like, you wanna hear something funny? I will read your chat just in a second. I am doing a really hard node. I need to focus a little, but I will read your chat as soon as I'm done. So yeah, I wanna hear something really funny. Dota and League of Legends had map hack that allows you to check and know where everyone is going and where everyone is doing and stuff like that. I think I was a bit like you say it through. Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree with you. So yeah, Dota and League of Legends had some kind of map hacks that allows you to show everything. And because I was so resourceful and knowledgeable about like the game mechanics and what you need to do and what, and if you move there or here or stuff like that. So what happened is as soon as as soon as I got like GG at the game, I was kind of provoking people by surprising them when they are hidden in the map. Not with using any kind of cheats, because I have too much experience in the game. So I know if you are hidden for a certain amount of time, or if you appear at this location and have your mouse cursor moving towards this destination, you're probably thinking about doing that, like expectations and future planning, you know? So if they are hidden in like farming some posts or like going to do some event or something like that, I would go and kill them and surprise them. And all of them, or at least most of them, kept saying, "You are a mad hacker! You are a cheater!" And I even took some replays and screenshots about people saying that while like recording my gameplay, and I used to play with real life friends. They knew about my skill, and we were like together a LAN party, and they hated me, and the one who played with me loved me. uh, like I remember some scenarios when we were like 5 versus 5 in LAN party, and I do some kind of stuff. They stop and leave the PC and start cursing at me. Stop doing this! It's so fucking annoying! I fucking hate you! It was super funny, man. For the unexperienced eye, I may look like a map hacker in these games, but because like I understand the mechanics so well, and I have like a future planning or guessing where you or what you're gonna do, so sometimes it looked like that, and I was kind of provocative to everyone. It was kind of fun for me. Like I don't really recall the best moments because it was long ago, like 10 years ago or something like that. But one of the best moments for me is when I plan what is gonna happen in the next 5 minutes, and I get it right on about the right time that I have. Like for example, a new game started literally just now, and everyone picked this setup of heroes. I would guess they will go for the boss at level 1. So I tell my team to wait here and not go engage with them until like 2 minutes in. So we go when they are almost out and kill them and kill the boss. Something like that. So it's more like, if you imagine it, I'm watching someone doing it with a hack or something like that. But no, it's just like future planning. I know some combos that people use to kill some stuff in certain times and move in certain ways. So yeah, it's super good. One of my best moments ever that I probably never gonna forget. You know about like the hooking and grabbing mechanics like in Warcraft and Dota, like Budge or Butcher, grabbing people and heroes from everywhere to him. So I remember fighting one of the best top players in my region in a friendly match, not even like a competitive one, and I made him to pause the game and rethink and saying, good job that I outsmarted him at that hook, because I was playing like a Budge and can hook, and I expected him to jump at exactly this position. So as soon as he was jumping, I was grabbing him back. So he was surprised because it was unexpected, and I expected the unexpected. So he was like, whoa, that's really nice one, GG. And because he is experienced in the game, he knew that I have to plan this, not just use some kind of sheet to know where he was. I just planned he was probably gonna jump here, so I prepared it while he was doing. It's more like he did it himself. It's not me, it's him. About the jungle, most of the time, because I got so bored playing the game in normal ways, so it was fun for me to just jungle and play with the computer and NPCs and surprise everyone in the game anyway. It was kind of fun for me for a long time to just play jungle. So one of the funniest moments that I remember, is I was playing with my team versus like competitive runs and tournaments and stuff like that. So one of one of the things they usually they usually give me, it's really funny. I play all heroes, all roles, but mostly because I got so bored with the game that I play jungler. By jungler, I mean I play jungle class. No. I play any class in jungle. That's the opposite. Not pick a class that can do jungle. I pick any class and just go jungle. Okay? So when we were playing, I dedicated someone to always pick the teams for us because I didn't want to experience that. So what happened is they always plan 4 picks, not for me, for him and for the other 3 we got. And when the other team have like super good setups and we are failing to get the 5th hero that we need for it to work, I would tell him, okay, if we get this hero for me, I can definitely break all of them. He says, okay, but if you get it, there is no spot for you for the setup or line up or whatever, you know. I told him, don't even worry. Give me the hero and just let me roam how I want. So he always makes this hero for me and just let me do whatever I want in the game. And eventually it came up like, okay guys, this game, okay, let's just make ice, just roam. Don't even bother about him. So what happens is I pick the hero and I just move all over the map, like however it feels right at a certain time, and everyone just dies. And like I sometimes get even more farm than my group farming by just running around the map, not even grinding creeps or money or gold or XP. They were like, what the fuck are you doing? How? So yeah, it was super funny. Like, if it's the last resort for the team, okay guys, let's give Ice a hero and just let him roam the map. And we win. It was one of the funniest moments in my gaming life experience. Right now, the similar feeling I get is when I control the pylon spawns on Diablo 3, where I sometimes like plan when I enter the rift where probably I'm gonna position, and if this position is correct, I need the power pylon there, stuff like that. So I plan ahead, I kill here and there, and sometimes I make bad decisions to everyone, but it's a good decision for the play overall. Like for example, at certain times I stop for no reason that nobody understand, but mainly because I am planning to force spawn something that's not ideal to know at this time. But eventually I stand and kill certain monsters, even if it wastes more time than needed. But then my idea comes in work, and it works, and I get like the pylon and stuff like that, and everyone just, whoa, what just happened? So yeah, recently just the fun I have with like prediction is probably just versus NPCs and computer and mechanics. Like in Diablo, it's just about like pylon spawns and force your luck with the boss and stuff like that. In Path of Exile, I play certain type. It's called the Labyrinths, that can give you some good rewards. The map is fixed, but it's changeable at the same time. So the fun for me is I figure out the map and the layout as fast as possible, and know like how they go every day, because it changes every day and stays for 24 hours. That's the fun for me in prediction for like Masters of Exile. As for my final and third game, my prediction is when I play with my teammates, I predict where or when they gonna do their buffs, like group buffs that gives them like ultimate abilities or whatever like that. So I just plan my buffs accordingly to have like even more DPS outcome altogether from the group at the same time, something like that. So it's more like a dead prediction power not used for something good. But yeah, it's just like I got so bored playing versus players and competitive. So my competition now is just first computer and NPCs. It's where I have fun now. But yeah, man, the feeling when your prediction comes right is the best feeling you can ever feel. Especially the longer time you have on the prediction. Like if you plan 5 seconds or if you plan like 10 minutes ahead. Yeah, it feels so good. Like really amazing feeling. I get super hyped. Yeah, of course. This didn't say anything because I don't really try too much. Yeah. I had some idea about you figuring that out, but I didn't want to engage in the conversation with you about it. Like what you basically just said, I had a mentality about it while we were playing in Riftis, but I just didn't want to commentating on what you were gonna say, but you didn't say it. So I just like continued play, and I believed in you because I saw that you are believing in me at the same time. So what happened at some Rifts, not all of them, because most of the time I play D&D or like just muscle memory, not thinking. But at some of the Rifts, like when we really needed the awkward mechanics that I abuse, I think we got all of them done, like the clears and stuff like that. You saw how many good conduits we spawned. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's luck, but really, after all, to get lucky, you have to control the conditions so you can get lucky when you want to be lucky. If that make any sense. Yes, spawning a conduit at a certain time is lucky condition, but let's face it, if you play super bad, you're not gonna spawn a pylon or like a conduit in this case. But if you play like good and you don't spawn it, it's fine. You did what you can. But yeah, I know that I surprised you at some point, but yeah, it's super fun. I get even more excitement when I just not surprise myself in the group, like my idea came to work or like my planning worked. I get more excitement when my other friends in the side group get excited because, whoa, this really happened. So I get double excitement. Sometimes from too much excitement, I feel like numbness all over my body and hotness and dizziness and no, I can fly. It's really fun for me. Sorry for not having a continuous play. It's just like sometimes I get too excited on talking, so I just focus all my power in talking and not just like muscle memorying the game. It's really fun talking to you. You reminded me of a lot of good moments of my life. It's really better environment playing versus zombies and this. Oh yeah, one Condon with Strut 6 Epic Elite. It felt so good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as I said, daily groups is much more fun. I have never played PoE. I don't understand much even. You can blame. Let's just imagine. I am playing a game where I am fast forwarding my action, so I am kind of fast, as you can see. This is not the normal speed in the game. If you compare it with Diablo 3, it's twice the maximum movement speed in Diablo 3 at the moment. What I have. And it's not even close to the maximum speed I got. So what I'm just doing now is just running, farming some currency, while not worrying about the game mechanics and playing what or when, just like running, you know? So yeah, there is literally nothing to see here except me running over and over and over. For me, it's super fun, super chill play. PoE has some mechanics where you can get super fast than where you can normally do in any other game, which is really fun for me. I love going fast. But oh man, I'm really excited even more now. Talking to you is really good, man. It's really fun. I hope you are having as much fun as me right now. Oh. Oh yeah, you wound me up for the new season. I don't know to play and compete. Don't look it in a competing way unless that's what you enjoy. Like, look at it, you are just having the most fun with the least amount of time investment. Look at it this way, and you would probably reach the competitive aspect of it sooner than you even realize. For me, I don't do anything without planning ahead, and I plan multiple plans for failing, and if it fails, like I have a backup, stuff like that. Sometimes it's not good to have a backup plan, just go with one plan, but it's more like I have to plan if it fails for any random reason that is out of my hand. I have to like be flexible at some point. Which get me to the point is when I play in group, it's very easy for me to understand how people play and figure their mechanics because I'm resourceful. So I always prefer to follow, not being followed, because when I follow and you do your thing, I can do my thing. But when I lead and people follow, I will do my thing, but I don't trust that you will do your thing. I'm not saying you by you as Roda. I'm saying you as the other people I play with in any different games. So yeah, when I usually play, I prefer to follow people because it's much easier for me than it's easier for them. Does that make any? Oh shit! I died. I wasn't being careful. I don't plan to the number one of everything is assuming I yeah, exactly. Usually the only time I prefer, not just prefer, I have to lead 100% of the time is where I'm playing my wizard Archon, because I am calculating a lot of sorry. So yeah, I am calculating a lot of mechanics in Archon that will sometimes force me to do a rash decision, which might seem at the first glance, but it's what actually gonna buff me in the group. Like, if you wanna look at it this way, when you play with some kind of DPS rotation that you know that you will do each time, I don't just do a DPS rotation, I do a trash rotation, map out rotation, people positions rotation, spawning circles rotation, and I try to max every possible time rotation on these outcomes to match my DPS rotation that I have as a flexible amount as much as possible. Like, for example, if like let me tell you like an example of how I think when I do this stuff. Like, just a small example, and you will eventually see it in action when I play. So there are some mobs that go inside the ground and run like frogs. Normally, everyone just fights them in a wide zone. For me, if I find them and fight them, I pick the most narrowish zone, which will look super weird. Why the fuck is standing in this small zone? It's just like because they are gonna get blocked and they will stand almost still in this location, so I can deal more damage than I do. Like, let's face it, there are some monsters you cannot kill in Diablo 3 if you wanna be rank 1 competitive. Because of my flexibility, I can kill them if the right conditions are met. If that make any sense at all. So yeah, that's like a small like summary or bio about my way of thinking in like Diablo 3. But as I may or may have not said already, I really like play Diablo just to predict and get excitements from predictions that I make all the time. And as a bonus excitements, if it happens that I make someone like says, "Whoa!" the group, and I know I deserved it, I get even more like excitement, and it feels like much more rewarding. But other than that, I don't really like to play the game. It feels not okay to me. Like I love Diablo. I love all Diablo genre, and I am so loyal to them. But playing them as just them isn't like exciting for me at all. It's just like I get the excitement from what I see. I hope this doesn't sound offensive. It's just like how I like to play, and when you do something that you like, you can be good at it. Does that make any sense? And yes, if you are gonna mention the rage about playing with random beeps from looking for group, I had enough fair share of my random beeps playing with me and just leaving or something like that. And eventually, I decided on just making a general assumptions that I play in a different way than others. So it's not gonna be a good mix because everyone is going right and I'm going left. It's just not gonna be good just to play with them. So I try to avoid that as much as possible since it's gonna be a counterproductive. Like when I met you, the right lucky conditions for me were met. Like I was with one of my friends, if you remember, Nolder, and I trust him and I believe in him so much. So he is gonna make my experience with the other two much easier. If they are good, it's gonna be even better. If they are bad, it's gonna be a little good. So he invited you, and when I saw you play, I kind of enjoyed playing with you from the first time seeing you. And I was kind of worried. I didn't want to make a habit out of it, but eventually I made a habit out of it to play with you. You kind of remind me of my best monk friend that I played with. I had my fair share of doing a Deo team with someone that because of him, just because of him, I am gonna repeat it again. Just because of my Deo with my friend Monk, I was able to play with Archon, with Publix, without worrying about the other two. Here is the story about it. Really long ago, like maybe 5 years ago, I met a guy randomly. By randomly, maybe maybe in rifts, maybe in greater rifts, maybe in bounces. I don't really recall. I I have a first look on people, not not really like judging them, but I have a look that I know if I see this person that I may like to play with him a lot because he does what I do or something like that. So I met a guy, and he was a monk, and I had my suspicions that I really like to play with him. So I friended him and we started playing together. I didn't teach him anything. I didn't tell him anything. I was just doing. And he was predicting what I'm doing. I was getting the chills. I was getting the goosebumps. How? I faced him so many times. I told him, how do you know what I'm gonna do? He said I just have to be like ready. You know, if you go there, you probably went there for some reason. So I just go there with you or something like that. Told him, just having fast reaction, that's all. He said, yeah. I told him, oh man, this is so good. I like this a lot. So what happened is, I pumped up my level of play. Like instead of doing something really regular, I do something super smart. Like I wanna come up with some kind of example, but I don't really have an example on my mind. But let's just say, if we are gonna go every 10 seconds, it's more like I am going every like 1 second with him, something like that. Like if we stand still and then move like after 1 minute with him, I just stand still and move every like 20 seconds or something like that. And he was ready each time. So I kept pushing it further, and eventually we become like super good Dayo style, and he enjoyed it and I enjoyed it, and we did push it so far that we had all the fun we want in the game. But eventually he had to go and work, and I barely see him for like 4 hours, maybe each season or something like that. But can you imagine how good you can be with someone that he releases the pressure of you on playing with people that you may hate or love, and eventually you become really good together, that you enjoy playing together? And by the way, when I was saying all of this, I didn't mention talking to him for a reason. We did not need to commute or communicate, whether it was voice chat or chat in game. He just knew. He read my action, and I have read his reaction. We didn't need to communicate in game. You can put like 100 lines under this. So this is my funny story about my best monk friend in Diablo 3 ever. Just because we understood each other so well. So yeah, that's the cool story I have for you. So, shall we get OP in the next season? Usually, not. I'm not gonna say usually, but most of the time, I like to push with Wizard for like the first top 10, the first day or something like that. And eventually, I just stop being competitive because it's gonna be a competition between Paragons and you. So sorry, I was trying to say is gonna be competition between like grinding Paragon and the rank. So I just stop after like the first day or like something like that. Like I compete for the top 10 in Wizard, and that's it. Stop after. Oh shit, I'm getting legs. Which is bad. Okay, more legs, which doesn't look as promising. One of the reasons that I stop gaming is having rubber bands and legs. It just hurts my brain. Right, I'm gonna go now. It was nice talking to you, seeing is the first day of yeah. I'm gonna be active the day before the season to prepare my real life style, like food, coffee, stuff like that. Shower, you know, the normal routine. And I'm gonna be active before the season with couple of hours to manage the inventory, just to get like the excitement ready and feeling ready before the season. Like I have so many items that I need to organize and characters, so I'm gonna be active and online before the season by at least like 4 hours, maybe, because I wanna save sleep as much as possible, and I'm gonna stay from the first day of the launch, as soon as it launches, to at least as far as I have planned, 30 hours grinding. If Bodit joins us, he said he wants to do 50. So I said I may stay with you for 50 hours straight. But either way, I'm gonna push my body to the limits and see how it feels, or how it will be. And small rests each day after. And after the first week, I'm gonna have like the normal routine, like sleeping some, and playing some, sleeping some, and playing some. But the first week, I'm gonna plan like not to sleep as all possible. So yeah, count on me in for the first hour of the season. I have two of my friends ready to join me on the season for my team. And I have one spot left, which will be you. Bodit promised that he will come as well, so I'm gonna like try to complete a 4-player group with 5 people. Maybe someone will come, maybe someone will fail to come, but eventually we will all be leveled up in the first few hours. Like even for example, I carried or got carried the first few hours with 3 of my people, and one is falling behind. I will change the group so we can buff him as well. Like I plan to buff all of you the first few days as much or as high as possible. But eventually, I have the backup plan. Is I know the timing that everyone plays on, so eventually I will have a flexible timing schedule for everyone. Like I know you play at certain times, but it plays almost at the opposite times. My other 2 friends play for a really short amount of times. So I will always like have a free spots like 70 or 80% of the time. Dude, that's why you have the migraine. You neglect sleeping too much. About sleeping, uh, I tried everything to sleep, and I wake up from sleep on a migraine. So I gave up on sleeping because I already tried for 10 years to sleep. I did everything between real lifestyles, eating, managing, playing, managing, taking some drugs, doing some timetables, doing some exercises. I tried either something you know or don't know for sleeping, and for 10 years, maybe even more, I wasn't able to sleep just because one of the reasons I had a migraine that wakes me up. And I recently, although I studied the medicine and I became a pharmacist and studied migraine, I didn't realize I had a migraine because I know migraine is a family related health issue, not just something that comes up to someone. Like you have to take it from your dad or his dad or your mother or something that like it's a family history. But I don't have any family history of migraine, so I was like worry free. So I thought I had a normal headaches until 2 years ago or like 1 year ago. My doctor sent me to another doctor that identified my issue, and he said I have a migraine. I was kind of worried, but as soon as he gave me the migraine drugs, I got mind lifted like a huge rock. Instead of lying on my head, it's now free. My mind is free. I don't feel pain. I can go sleep even if I sleep for like 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, or even if I sleep for like 10 hours, I'm not gonna wake up from a headache. I almost kissed this doctor like on his cheek or head, like as a compliment. I told him, you released a pain on my head. I was in agony, and I cannot give you any enough gift that can like give you what I'm feeling right now. You made me happy, man. So after I got treated with migraine, I tried my sleep schedule again, and it just didn't work. So like I go sleep and I just sit in bed. I don't fall asleep, and if I fall asleep, I keep waking up each few minutes. So eventually I just gave up on the idea. I did my best and it was not enough, so it's just to move on. But the general idea, whether I have a problem or illness or something like that, I just like most of the time when the 3 games I play, DC Universe Online and PoE and Diablo 3 comes online for like a new season, I always have a mentality of staying up for at least the first 30 hours to farm as high as possible and rest the next few days. This is my mentality that I use. It can be good, it can be bad. I don't really care that much. I just do it because I know if I farm now, I would save farming later. Like if I farm 30 hours now, it's better than farming like 100 hours later. So yeah. I'm sorry if this talk was too personal, you may say, but it's just like you elaborated the point on migraine, and I just wanted to explain the health issue I have with migraine. Well, it's great to hear you like that. Have a good time with what you've been. I'm really gonna. Okay, see you, man. See you. Good talking to you. It was really exciting. See you later. I'm really happy I talked to you today. See you. Good talk. Okay, bye. change the music. Okay, I need to chill for minutes. So I'm probably gonna AFK for like 10 minutes or so if someone is here. I'm sorry. I need to do some real stuff real quick. Peter pick. No lab for today. I am preparing for tomorrow. I am going for 100, so I am upgrading my gear, preparing gems, what I need to do, maps, joys. So soon I'm gonna go eat and sleep. No labs for today, sorry. Probably tomorrow or day after. Okay, I'm gonna go AFK, eat. I'll be right back later on.